People always say the future just kind of creeps up on you. Well, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it hits all at once. Today, we're going to break down a single 24-hour period that completely changed the game for the entire tech industry.
This is the date you're going to want to remember. February 16th, 2026. This is the day the ground literally shifted under Silicon Valley and a whole new world order started to take shape.
And get this, on this one day, count them, 6 separate, absolutely game-changing events all went down. Each one was a pretty big deal on its own. But when they happened together, oh man, they kicked off this incredible chain reaction that is now reshaping our economy, our politics, and even the basic ways we interact with the digital world. All right, let's get into it. So first things first, we have to talk about the financial time bomb that had been ticking away right under the surface of the AI boom. The old way of doing things was starting to fall apart from the inside out.
So what's with this number, $30 billion? Well, that's the jaw-dropping amount of money that giants like Google, Meta, and AWS were spending every quarter just to operate their AI. We're not talking about investment. That's just the cost to keep the lights on. It was a totally unsustainable cash burn.
And that insane spending led economists to declare that we've officially entered the compute trough of disillusionment. It's a fancy name for a simple problem. Companies are dumping billions into computing power, but the money they're making from it doesn't even come close to covering the bill. The whole AI economy was basically being propped up by investors, not actual profits.
And this puts big tech in a really tough spot. What's being called the cost-scale paradox. If they keep building these massive large language models, they're on a fast track to going broke. But if they stop, they lose the market. So what's the solution? It's about thinking smaller, shifting to these smaller, specialized models that are way more efficient, and use clever tricks like retrieval augmented generation, which lets them pull in new info without these super expensive retraining sessions. Now, as this whole financial crisis was starting to boil over in the West, a huge geopolitical pivot was happening on the other side of the planet. The center of gravity for AI development was making a very clear move eastward.
Let's jump over to the India AI Impact Summit. Just seeing the heads of OpenAI, Google, and NVIDIA all on stage together in New Delhi, that alone tells you something big is happening. India unveiled this massive $10 billion plan for sovereign AI, which means building its own models on its own data. And then Sam Altman dropped the real bombshell, a proposal for universal basic compute, essentially giving every Indian citizen a free chunk of AI processing power.
And this is what experts are calling algorithmic diplomacy. India is playing its cards perfectly, using its massive population and data sovereignty as leverage to become a global AI superpower. The long-term plan? For Indian startups to offer AI services at a fraction of what American companies can.
So, okay, the economic and political foundations are shifting. But how does that actually change things for you and me? Well, on this same day, the very way we interact with the digital world took a giant leap forward. I mean, think about it. We went from clicking and typing with a mouse to tapping and swiping on our phones. Well, on February 16th, the next era was pretty much set in stone. And funnily enough, it was sparked by Google finally releasing a native YouTube app for the Apple Vision Pro. Welcome to the age of look and confirm.
This new YouTube app wasn't just another app. It was a declaration. It cemented a new standard called volumetric UI, this three-dimensional gaze-based interface. And this expert quote here says it all. Platforms that can't adapt to this are basically on the fast track to becoming obsolete.
But the new interface isn't just about what you see, it's about what you can do. And you can forget about chatbots. It's time to meet the Large Action Model, or LAM. This is a totally different kind of AI. It doesn't just talk to you, it connects right into your operating system and actually takes action for you.
And this isn't science fiction. A project called OpenClaw can already do all of this. It can log into your accounts, book your travel, analyze your spreadsheets, and yeah, it can even argue with your coworkers for you on Slack. This is the beginning of Zero UI, where you don't mess around with software anymore. You just tell an agent what you need done.
But, of course, this raises a pretty terrifying question. What happens if one of these all-powerful agents messes up, if it hallucinates while it's logged into your bank account? This is the critical security challenge of our time. It's forcing a whole new way of thinking, a zero-trust for AI model, where every single important action needs your explicit human verification.
And finally, let's look at the third major shift from this incredible day,
how AI is completely transforming the act of creation itself, from the code that builds our software to the virtual worlds we play in. On this day, a report leaked out of Spotify, and it revealed that their senior engineers haven't manually typed a line of code in months. Instead, they're using an internal AI called Honk. The result, a 400% increase in how fast they can release new features. That is absolutely wild.
This is all pointing to a huge shift. We're basically seeing the death of syntax. An engineer's value is no longer about memorizing the rules of Python. It's about being able to think at a high level, to be an architect who designs systems and then orchestrates these powerful AI agents to do the actual building.
And this transformation of creation is spilling over into entertainment. While most of its competitors were focused on subscription models, Sony revealed a totally different strategy for PlayStation. They're calling it quality exclusivity. Basically, they're selling a standard of visual quality that's so high, it becomes an exclusive feature all by itself.
The PlayStation 5 Pro showcase was them proving it. They showed off games with full path tracing graphics, the kind of stuff that used to be only for super high-end PCs, and it's all made possible by their second-gen AI upscaling tech. This is more than just making pretty games. It's a brilliant strategy. They're using AI to push their current hardware to the absolute limit, building a bridge of hype that leads right to the next generation.
So, let's tie this all together. On one single day, we watched the AI economy's financial model breakdown, the geopolitical center of gravity shift eastward, our user interface evolve beyond the screen, and the very nature of human creation get completely redefined.
And all of this leaves us with one final, really important question to think about. In a world of these autonomous agents and zero UI, where we're handing over more and more of our digital lives, who's really in control? The future that arrived on February 16th is here to stay, and we are just now beginning to understand what it all means.